This is the GIS News for Thursday, January 9th, 2025. I am Christian Mitchell. In the headlines, government commits to pay 100% past services contributions for years before the 2025 pension implementation. And Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell leads delegation to China to commemorate 20th anniversary of diplomatic relations. We'll delve into these stories and more after the break.
If there's one thing we know for sure, life is an unpredictable journey, full of twists and turns, but no matter where it takes you, the National Insurance Scheme is here, ready to support you every step of the way. Sickness benefits ensures that you can focus on recovery, not financial stress. Maternity allowance and grant provides essential support to start your beautiful journey of parenthood. The unemployment benefits act as a safety net, giving you peace of mind during challenging times. Employment injuries can be daunting, but NIS provides comprehensive coverage, including injury benefit, medical expenses, disablement, and death benefits. At NIS, your well-being is priority. Now you can face challenges confidently, knowing that support is just a claim away. Contact us today to find out more about the range of benefits or visit our website at www.nisgrenada.org.
Welcome back. Government will pay 100% of past service contributions for the new public service pension plan. This allows employees working within the system years before 2025 to enjoy the benefits of the pension scheme. Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell made the announcement on Wednesday during a meeting with public officers to update and educate employees on the new pension plan, which took effect January 1st, 2025. This is after the Public Sector Employees Bill was passed in both houses of Parliament in December 2024 and assented to by the Governor-General, Her Excellency Dame Cecile Lagranade. He explained that the past service benefit is simply saying thanks and their years of service is valued.
The Cabinet of Grenada, all of my colleague ministers who are responsible for this, the recommendation was to pay 50% of the past service benefit. I was not even in the cabinet meeting when the conclusion came back saying that the ministers, on their own volition, agreed to pay 100% of the past service contribution. And this is important because in effect, the government is contributing and paying its contribution towards the pension from the moment you started working with the government, notwithstanding that the pension plan is only now coming into effect. So if you've been working for 5 years, 5 years equivalent of past service contributions will be paid for you. If you've been working for 10 years, 10 years equivalent of past service contribution is being paid for you. So this is significant because it therefore means that your past years of service is being valued and is being validated because we recognize that you will not have started working with the government today. So that is really our way of saying thank you for the service that you've given to the people of Grenada.
The intention is to give workers the privilege of having the benefits of 2 pensions after retirement.
This is simply designed to address this issue. It isn't, and it will never be a full glass or a full cup, but it isn't an empty glass or no glass. And so, yes, it is striking a compromise, but we are doing so in the best interest of the people who work to build Grenada. And while we are talking about public officers or government employees, there are also the thousands of Grenadians who work in the private sector who are in the same position, who outside of an NIS pension, and in some cases no NIS pension, because many persons are self-employed, they don't pay NIS. Many people work in various sectors that are irregular or seasonal, where their employers either refuse to pay the NIS, or sometimes people may even encourage the employers not to pay and say, I want all the money now. But what happens when you get to 50, 55, 60, and you're retired, or you're sick, or you're injured, and you have no source of income? So this really is an attempt to have an additional pension in place so that when one retires, you have two pension sources. And that is essentially the aim of the exercise.
Permanent Secretary in the Department of Public Administration, Lindana Hilaire-Marshall, said the contributions include 3% and 6% below and above NIS ceiling for both employee and employer.
The Act does make provision for the employer contribution to be 3% below the NIS ceiling and 6% above. And likewise, the employees will match the contribution 3% below and 6% above. And we often like to explain what we mean by above and below the NIS ceiling using an example of someone who is attracting a salary of about $7,000. The NIS ceiling is $5,000. So the first $5,000 of earnings will attract 3% of the contributions. So people who earn, for example, $7,000, you would pay 3% on the first $5,000. The difference between $5,000 and $7,000 is $2,000. You would now pay 6% on that $2,000 in excess of $5,000. So it's not 6 plus 3 equal 9% of your salary. It's 3% below and 6% above. We also have provisions in the Act for unmatched voluntary contributions up to 10%. So someone who is not part of this new plan, someone who is on the existing plan, can make voluntary contributions up to 10%. Likewise, someone who is covered under this Act, while the Act make provisions for a mandatory 3%, if you are so inclined, you can pay or contribute up to 10% of your salary. What you need to note with the voluntary contribution, though, is that you are not able to adjust the rates as you well like. There are going to be limits, which is going to be within a 6-month period.
PS Marshall encouraged workers to be optimistic, resilient, and open to the changes being implemented, which augurs well for the benefit of all eligible employees.
For us, we understand that we all have different perspectives. We have different experiences, and so we would see things differently. What we want to understand is the fact that despite our natural inclination, whether or not we see the glass as half full, half empty, we want us to understand what is important is our reaction, our response to the situation or the changes in which we have to endeavor or endure. So for us, it's more about us encouraging us, even though we are on the pessimistic side. We want all of us to start cultivating a mind of optimism so that we should be in a position to embrace and accept changes as opposed to fighting and resisting changes. Because I think by now we all recognize that no matter what we do, no matter where we are in life, things are going to change. And so we will have to find a way to adjust and embrace and live with the changes.
Minister for Climate Resilience, the Environment and Renewable Energy, Honorable Karine James, accepted the keys to a brand new electric vehicle from GIS. The electric vehicle, supplied by local business Eco Solutions Grenada, is equipped with a powerful battery that can give up to 480 miles on one charge. The addition of a 2024 BYD Auto 3 Superior Edition now brings the ministry's electric fleet to 2, reinforcing commitment to adopting clean energy. The granting of the vehicle to the ministry is part of the GIS's regional NDC Tech project focused on transforming the transport and energy sector towards a low-carbon and climate-resilient future. Marianne Guess, head of the GIS project, says that small island states are well suited for electric mobility.
Very honored that today we're actually able to hand over this beautiful electric vehicle, which is just a little part of the long journey we have ahead of us. Because what we want to achieve within the now called supporting the implementation of the national determined contributions in the Caribbean, transforming the transport and energy sector towards a low carbon and climate resilient future project, NDC Tech in short, is that we showcase that small islands really are the perfect location for electric mobility. on land and on sea.
As the project progresses, data on the performance will be collected and analyzed. GIS says that this data will be monitored to be presented to the ministry at the end of the project in 2027.
We have a telematic device installed that will allow the project team of the NDC3 project and the ministry to log directly what the data in real time. It will be locked until 2027 when we have the end of the project, and then of course after that handed over to the ministry. What we want to demonstrate and what we want to capture is monitoring data and real life examples of the benefits of an electric vehicle. Why are we doing this, and why are we doing this with climate money? We want to first do our contribution in reducing the CO2 footprint. So what we're going to do is we're going to monitor this beautiful electric vehicle with a combustion vehicle in comparison and show how the CO2 and the environmental footprint actually differs and makes a difference. And this will hopefully inform any policy decisions in the future, not just in Grenada, but beyond in the region.
Minister James is elated that another vehicle was added and expressed her optimism about the initiative, emphasizing its potential to drive transformative change within the region.
I am very happy to be here to celebrate this pivotal step towards changing the narrative and changing the look in terms of transportation and how government has to lead by example in terms of the whole transition to renewable energy. This added vehicle to our one little EV we have is a step in the right direction.
She is hopeful that the project can highlight to the populace why the transition is a great idea.
But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, is that the climate has been changing and it has gotten worse, and we now have to find ways to adapt and to mitigate against it. And so this whole renewable energy transition, while some persons who I have engaged over the past 2 years or so or more are not really convinced as to why they should make the transition, I think by us, cooperating and by us getting ourselves as a country involved in initiatives and projects like these and leading by example would obviously show how important it is for us as small islanders to not look at ourselves as vulnerable states, to not look at ourselves as countries, as how one former president classified us, but to look at ourselves as leaders, as islands that can be models of excellence, that can really show that we are committed towards this fight against climate change.
Continuing the news, Prime Minister Honorable Deacon Mitchell will lead a delegation to the People's Republic of China to mark the 20th anniversary of the resumption of diplomatic relations between the two countries. The team will visit from January 9th to 17th, 2025. The visit underscores the enduring partnership and mutual respect between Grenada and China, which has flourished over the past 2 decades. Since the re-establishment of diplomatic relations in 2005, Grenada and China have enjoyed a strong relationship characterized by cooperation in areas such as infrastructure, agriculture, education, healthcare, and cultural exchange. The visit will celebrate these achievements while exploring opportunities for deeper cooperation and include meeting with President Xi Jinping, Trade and Export Development Forum, and bilateral meetings with Chinese government officials to discuss ongoing and future areas of cooperation. Prime Minister Mitchell highlighted the importance of the visit, noting that, and I quote, "This visit represents an important milestone in our diplomatic journey with China. China has always treated us with respect, and our countries have worked together to achieve mutual benefits, and we will continue to foster goodwill." End of quote. Other members of the delegation include Honorable Joseph Andal, Minister for Foreign Affairs, Trade and Export Development, Honorable Lennox Andrews, Minister for Economic Development, Planning and Cooperatives, Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources, Senator Salim Rahman, and Ambassador Richard Nixon. This is the GIS News. When we return, electronic travel authorization in effect for non-visa travelers to the UK.
Are you thinking about buying a vehicle? Did you find a company on social media? Stop. It may be a scam. look out for the following red flags. Is the price lower than other dealers? Does it seem too good to be true? Are you sending the monies to the US even though you are ordering the vehicle from Japan? Does the address on the invoice match the address on the payment details? Are conversations limited to WhatsApp text? Is there a sense of urgency placed on you by the seller? You are about to be scammed. Do not take your hard-earned cash or even worse, a loan to send to these scammers. Once the money leaves Grenada's shores, you are not likely to get it back. Consider buying a vehicle already on island from an individual or a car dealer. Beware of these scammers. If in doubt, it's best to stay out. A message from the Financial Intelligence Unit.
Welcome back. The United Kingdom's Electronic Travel Authorization (ETA) requirement for short-term travelers from Grenada is currently in effect. Grenadian travelers now entering the UK will be required to complete an ETA application at least 72 hours prior to arrival at any UK border. The ETA, which costs £10, is considered a major step forward in digitizing and streamlining the UK border. It is applicable to travelers who do not require a visa to travel to the UK and who intend to spend 6 months or less in the country. During the ETA process, travelers will answer a set of questions and provide some basic personal information. Resident British High Commissioner Victor Clark explained that the authorization is valid for 2 years. Applications can be done through the UK ETA app from Google Play or the Apple Store or by visiting gov.uk.
Once you receive that notification back, that ETA then is valid for 2 years, but it is tied to the specific passport that you have applied with. So if that passport expires before the end of the 2 years, then that ETA also expires at the same time that the passport expires. So if you have a new passport, you would have to apply for a new ETA, even if it's within the 2 years of having obtained the ETA. But otherwise, the ETA is valid for 2 years, and you can use it as many times as you wish, so long as each time you're using it to travel to the UK for tourism or for short stays, for business. It can't be used for any stay of longer than 6 months in the UK, as is the current situation with visa-free travel to the UK. Familiarise yourself with the process if you wish. It is, as I've said, very straightforward. All of the information is available online. If you simply Google ETA UK, it should come up with the UK government page, so gov.uk, where all of the information is there, and that's where you begin the application process. You shouldn't apply for ETAs through any other third party or any other kind of websites that aren't gov.uk, which is the official government website.
The Government of Grenada and the OECS Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl, handed over the newly refurbished New Hampshire preschool earlier this week. Government constructed a brand new cafeteria at a cost of 300,000 EC dollars, while the OECS Pearl refurbished and procured resources for the preschool at 155,000 EC dollars. More in this Sarana Mitchell report.
The newly refurbished New Hampshire preschool has the capacity to hold at least 50 students. It is one of 5 preschools being refurbished as part of collaboration between the Government of Grenada and the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States Program for Educational Advancement and Relevant Learning, OECS Pearl.
Today, this preschool stands as a testament to our shared commitment, the OECS Pearl and the Government of Grenada. It has been, this school, New Hampshire Preschool, has been upgraded with improved classrooms, appropriate learning materials for the implementation of the high scope curriculum, outdoor play area, there is now a space for outdoor play, the lunchroom, the additional kitchen, all designed to create a safe and stimulating environment for learning.
That's Deputy Chief Education Officer in the Early Childhood Education Unit in the Ministry of Education, Dr. Charmaine Christopher. Minister for Education, Senator the Honorable David Andrew, states that the preschool is an investment in the future of the country.
This almost $500,000 project was jointly borne by the government and the OECS Pearl is a drop in the bucket. It's not too much, given the impact it can have on our society. No investment in our nation's children, in our future, in our society's well-being is too much. So this is not just a $500,000 project. This is not just a joint $500,000 spend that we can boast about and say, oh, almost $500,000, $500,000 was spent in renovating a school, and we can talk about Pearl, we can talk about the government. But this is more than that. This is strategically an investment in our society, in this community. And we need to understand that. And so there are a few ideas that I want to share with you. One, the more you do for these little children now, the less you would have to do for them in the future.
Parliamentary Representative for St. George Northeast, Honorable Ron Redhead, says the newly refurbished New Hampshire preschool is a fulfillment of a campaign promise, and he is extremely appreciative of the work done at the school.
The quality of the restoration work at our preschool today truly instills pride and a sense of belonging within this community. It will empower our children to grow into prominent and productive members of society and allow staff and students to collaborate in a comfortable environment to fulfill their responsibilities. As a result, we anticipate that more parents will seek to register their children in this institution in the future. Let's pray for that in God's name. For these reasons, I would like to express my profound gratitude on behalf of my office and the constituency to the Ministries of Education, Infrastructure, Social Development, and the contractor himself for the successful completion of this wonderful project. Additionally, we thank the OECS Pearl, Program for Education Advancement and Relevant Learning, for partly funding this initiative, which we know would not have been possible without their financial support.
The parliamentary representative also shared that he has organized with local health and safety company Bethel and Associates to install fire extinguishers at the school. No one was happier to see the transformation of the New Hampshire preschool than the founder, Louise Alexander Thomas, who is affectionately known in the community as Teacher Louise. She started the school almost 50 years ago.
The new school is very appreciated to me. I'm happy for it. And I am saying inside of me, I'm sorry it wasn't in my days.
Her daughter, who is Deputy Chief Education Officer of the Testing and Examinations Unit at the Ministry of Education and is a member of the community, Diana Mitchell-Gooding, was also a student at the preschool.
I would say to the community, cherish this school. Work with the teachers. Send your children here. Encourage the children to be good students, no matter how small they are. Work, as I said, with the teachers. Attend the PTA meetings. Observe what is happening. And encourage the teachers. Do not fight with them. Build good relationships with them. It is all for the benefit of your children.
OECS Pearl Country Coordinator Dr. Astra McKenzie hopes that more parents in the community will utilize the newly refurbished preschool.
I am so ecstatic with the transformation that has taken place here. If you knew what this place looked like before, let's take downstairs for instance. We're just talking about pillars and earth. And now we have a full cafeteria, washroom, kitchen. It is so conducive for learning, for students here. The biggest thing for me though, is that now is an opportunity for us to have those children who want to leave Willis and go to school elsewhere, other preschools, come to New Hampshire Preschool. We wanted to come back.
Community resident Sonjay Bartholomew, whose children attended the New Hampshire Preschool, praised the refurbished building and hopes to see more children at the school.
Well, one of the things also that I've noticed is over the years that the numbers of the students started to dwindle. You know, I do not know the real reason for that, if it's because of some of the same things I mentioned previously. But now that they have a new refurbished school, I am hoping that the community would actually send out their kids, come first of all and see what the school has to offer. It's now fenced, they don't have security, they have maintenance, they have a lot of equipment that was donated to the school to upgrade the school.
The contractor, Glenroy Sayers of Sayers Construction, says though work on the preschool began in May 2024, it took longer than anticipated due to the passage of Hurricane Beryl and the heavy rains. Of the over 20 workers on the project, about 12 were from the New Hampshire community.
Well, the project is good for the community. It's our big facelift, you know. To how it work, to where we bring it, is a milestone, you know. So we have to give kudos to whoever come up with the idea or fund the project or whatever the case may be. But it's very good for the community.
The combined cost of the project is estimated at close to $500,000 Eastern Caribbean dollars. Sarana Mitchell reporting.
Thank you, Sarana. Continuing the news, principals of 2 schools which benefited from the distribution of chicks to support in-school poultry ventures have expressed their appreciation to local poultry producer Grenada Chicken Farm Limited. Principals Ms. Sabazan and Mr. Kwame Hippolyte of the Holy Spirit Catholic School and Grenville Secondary, respectively, are looking forward to the benefits from this initiative.
We see this as a means of allowing our students to have the experiential learning taking place, where they are able to get the hands-on with the agricultural science. In addition to that, this will augment and greatly give us some assistance with our breakfast program. So these layers, it's our hope that in time to come that they will be able to provide for that breakfast program. So we're rather thankful to the Ministry of Agriculture for this donation, this gift, and we see that it will bring great benefits to us.
First of all, it will make our agricultural science a little bit more practical for our students, because generally we only have broilers, but now they can actually see how layers are read and what layers can be used for. Because it is layers, we can actually use from the farm to the table aspect in terms of we'll be able to use the eggs in our school feeding program. In addition, because this term we also this academic year, I must say, we are focusing on making maths practical. I'm looking to see how we can actually incorporate the measurement aspect in terms of how much feed goes with the number of birds, how long it takes birds to reach maturity, and so on. We can actually use that in our mathematics program.
Grenada Chicken Farm is scheduled to make another donation of broilers to the 4-H Department of the Ministry of Agriculture and Lands, Forestry and Marine Resources on Friday, which will be distributed to schools. The GIS News will continue after the break.
If there's one thing we know for sure, life is an unpredictable journey, full of twists and turns, but no matter where it takes you, the National Insurance Scheme is here, ready to support you every step of the way. Sickness benefits ensures that you can focus on recovery, not financial stress. Maternity allowance and grant provides essential support to start your beautiful journey of parenthood. The unemployment benefits act as a safety net, giving you peace of mind during challenging times. Employment injuries can be daunting, but NIS provides comprehensive coverage, including injury benefit, medical expenses, disablement, and death benefits. At NIS, your well-being is priority. Now you can face challenges confidently, knowing that support is just a claim away. Contact us today to find out more about the range of benefits or visit our website at www.nisgrenada.org.
Welcome back. Head of the Renewable Energy Division in the Ministry of Climate Resilience, Leslie Smith, commends Grenada's growing adoption of electric vehicles. Speaking during the handover of a fully electric vehicle to the Ministry of Climate Resilience, he noted that there has been a significant increase in electric vehicles coming into Grenada. This shift, he explained, is largely influenced by the government's introduction of attractive incentives aimed at providing cleaner energy solutions. The electric vehicles are well suited for Grenada's climate resilience efforts.
So it's a pilot for us at the ministry because we want to lead by example, and we're hoping that the bigger government policy would be that every new purchase would be an electric vehicle. And that would be the ideal situation for us. I just had discussion with the CEO of the Grenada Transport Commission, and the Commission is also fully on board with that kind of initiative, and to also look at the public sector transportation with electric vehicles. At the end of November 2024, we had 111 electric vehicles here in Grenada, including 2 minibuses. The guy who has the minibuses are from the parish of St. John. So we've had a significant increase in the number of electric vehicles over the last 2 years, about 300% increase. And part of the reason for that is because of the fiscal incentives that government is offering for the importation of these vehicles. As a matter of fact, government is offering now 100% concession on all electric vehicles, and that makes it actually cheaper than the corresponding internal combustion engine. Additionally, government is also offering 75% concession on hybrid vehicles, and again, that makes them cheaper. And Minister said, and it's very correct, that we've had an exponential increase in these hybrid vehicles on our roads. I'm sure everybody's seen these little Suzuki Ignis up and down the road. They've taken over the Swift now. They're all hybrid vehicles as well. And there are the bigger ones, the SUVs and so on, that are currently on the road. Subsequent to November, we've had additional electric vehicles being imported. We're yet to tabulate the statistics, but we've had an over 300% increase in electric vehicles over the last 2 years.
Finally, in the news, the Ministry of Youth and Sports will stage the 2025 Independent Secondary Schools Under-20 Cricket Tournament from Tuesday, January 14th. 12 secondary schools have registered to participate in the tournament, which is being held in collaboration with the National Celebrations Committee as part of its scheduled activities. The tournament is divided into 2 zones, and the matches will be played at various playing fields. GIS spoke to cricket coach Troy George.
Last year we didn't have a senior tournament, and we thought it fitting that we start off the new year of the 51st Independence Anniversary with the Senior Schools Cricket Tournament, which is scheduled to start next week, the 14th of January, next week Tuesday. So far we have 12 schools participating, and we're looking forward to a successful tournament. So far we have Pearls, River Sally, and we probably might be using La Portrie to an extent, and Progress Park, down St. George's side, La Sagesse, Tantine, Boucheju. These are the main grounds that we will be using to have these games played off.
All matches are scheduled to start from 10:30 a.m. George said that each game will be played in 30 overs until mid-February.
So the games will be played over 30 over duration. Starting time 10 o'clock or 10:30, and we want to start as soon as possible to try and get in the overs, and hopefully we can have a good games. We want the schools first and foremost to come and support their own, and then we want the public, the community, surrounding areas to just come and support cricket, support the youngsters. These are the future that we have for Grenada, Wino Island and West Indies. So we want to start the process in supporting them, giving them the encouragement, knowing that they can, perform at their best at this level.
The participating schools in Zone 1 are the Grenada Christian Academy, Grenada SDA Comprehensive School, Grenville Secondary School, MacDonald College, St. Andrews Anglican Secondary School, and St. Mark's Secondary School. In Zone 2, Boca Secondary School, Grenada Boys Secondary School, J.W. Fletcher Catholic Secondary School, Presentation Brothers College, St. David's Catholic Secondary School, and Westerhall Secondary School. And that brings us to the end of today's newscast. From all of us here at the Government Information Service, I am Chris Ann Mitchell. Thank you for viewing.